So we're going to make this a study. And then I'm going to go into my noble screen again, and I want my bookkeeper. And again, listed by skills, he's an adequate record keeper, so we'll get him and see how the require is read. If we push enter on this, it will show what he needs. He needs at least a meager office, and a meager office is just a chair, basically. So we will go to this here. Now that it has a space set as a study, we can now assign the study, and we'll go to our bookkeeper. And then if we go back to our noble screen, it will have turned white. As he needs a meager office, he has a meager office. So now that he has that, we can go to settings and tell him how accurate we want our stocks. And basically, we want them accurate, all the way accurate. I think it takes him longer, but I'm not sure why you would want only semi-accurate counts. Except maybe if you were super pressed for time or something. I'm not sure, but he'll get on that and we'll be able to get some accurate reads on what kind of supplies and stuff we got going on here. If that's open, we can make some beds. Let's see, making more doors and thrones. Let's see if I have enough doors to set up this kitchen. I do not. Our dwarf's running around, and you see the bright green dwarf, the gem setter there. He's running around with a little O with umlauts. That's a wheelbarrow. So that's allowing him to carry rocks around a lot faster. And luckily, since there's so much surface metal, I should be able to get a smithing industry up and running fairly quickly. So that should be nice. We got plenty of stuff growing up here. Let's see, is that corn done? I think it's under workshop. Corn is Q. Yep. And that's why I left that little opening. A corn, again, is used for milling plants into generally either sugar or flour, and I'm actually also going to want a screw press up here at some point. I won't be making it right now because it involves making several pieces and then putting them together, but I'll at least leave a space for it since I'm not using all that space anyway. Might as well actually also put in a couple more openings to make it easier for the dwarves to get through these farm plots if they're trying to move through them. So that's good. Alright, our bookkeeper is updating some records. So he's in his little closet office doing that. And I'm actually going to set up out here because I want to start building up here fairly soon. So what I'm actually going to do is put down another mason's workshop. I think I'd be able to find things on this menu better. And I'm going to put it out past the trade depot. Make that out of shirt. And then I'm going to make kind of a weird thing. And while I'm putting out this stockpile and setting it up, I will explain what exactly I am doing. And what I'm doing is firstly making a stockpile because I'm going to build out of stone. I want the stones closer so the doors don't have to carry them as far because they won't wheelbarrow them to a construction site. But the other thing I want to do is get the stones next to the mason's workshop so I can turn them into blocks, which are lighter and also worth slightly more. And I don't care about how much they're worth, but I want blocks so that my building goes much faster. So, of course, we don't want metal ores. Economic is fine. Other stone is fine. I'm going to go over to bars and blocks. I'm going to go just make it stone. And then because I only have... Oh, and I just got a message that and again I'm going to push A to look at my messages. My farmer, the woodcutter, ran out of cave wheat seeds. So that's fine. It just means he planted them all. I have more plots than I have seeds. I knew that. And I want another mason. So while this soldier is not doing anything because he just has soldiering skills, I'm actually going to go ahead and make him a mason to help with that. and I'm just going to put make blocks on repeat. And while I'm at it, I'm going to make it so that they can put a bin in here to keep the blocks in, because I believe you can put blocks in bins. And I think I might need another wheelbarrow because I don't remember how many I took, so I'm gonna add one of those. And this is kind of how Dwarf Fortress goes, is you want to do one thing, and it's not complicated because it's necessarily hard to do. It's just you have to remember like how all these different systems interact with each other. And I'm not like some grandmaster wizard at Dwarf Fortress. I've just played it for a really long time, so I've accrued a lot of knowledge and information about it. Oh, alright, so here's the thing. If you see the, over here in the animals, because we have our dogs hanging out and our turkeys and stuff, which, now I think about it, I need to remember to make stuff for them. But the C and the Y, which is the camel and the yak, which pulled our wagon, they are both animals that need to eat. And for some reason, I think it's actually because of the way the game calculates how much food something needs, and it working strangely with rather large animals. But basically, some animals don't need to eat and some do. And so a lot of these farm animals need to graze, which means they need some sort of grass. And for whatever reason, animals like hanging out in meeting areas, but we don't want them to hang out there. So I am designating a zone. I'm going to make it fairly big. And what I'm going to do is make it a pen/pasture. And now that it's a pen/pasture, I have capital N set pen pasture information. And if I press that, it gives me a list of all the animals in the fort. So right now I just want the yak and the camel out here. And so this way they won't starve to death. Because if they keep staying in that meeting area where there's no grass or anything, they'll starve to death eventually. And so somehow animals just magically know what their pen area is, and they'll just stay within that zone. And if they do run out of grass, which can happen because some animals eat a lot for whatever reason, they can also starve out here, but I've given them a plenty big area, I think. Still got cats and dogs and stuff running around. So while I'm at it, I guess I'll do a fun thing here. So on your fortress screen, and we already have our created wealth numbers here, which isn't very much, and we have accurate food stores, which is good. It already looks a lot better because I've been collecting plants. So if we go to animals, one thing we can do is it says creature on the left and then owner on the right, and it says unavailable, which means that that animal cannot be taken by a dwarf as a pet. And also with the cats, most of the time the way it works is when a dwarf is near an animal, it can choose to take it on as a pet. Cats work in reverse. Cats choose a dwarf to be their master rather than the other way around. But so we want at least a couple of these dogs. Whoops, that is butcher. Alright, so also this is where you butcher animals. If you push B, it'll say ready for slaughter, and that means the next time a butcher is free, he will take them and butcher them. But I don't want to butcher them. I want to make them available, which is enter, not B. So I think I will make the male one and one of the female ones available. I don't want anybody to take those turkeys, and I might as well put the yak and the camel up as well, because I don't know the next time I'm going to have a bite at getting a male yak or camel. And the reason I left some of those dogs is I might want to use them for hunting or war or just putting them in a specific place so that they can breed or whatever. In fact, I should probably not have that male one. Just have one up. Might as well. And that's just like, you know, having a pet can give a dwarf happy thoughts, so, you know, why not? Let's see, how am I going to do this? Right now I'm laying out several different kinds of floor plans. I think I'm going to have to move the trading depot already, unfortunately, but no, actually, maybe I won't. How's that going to work, though? Okay, no, okay, I think I got it. Yeah, alright. So, how you build walls and ceilings and stairs and all that stuff basically anything that's some sort of building is you go to build, and then what's it called? I know it's capital C. I'm trying to remember what it's actually listed as, or where it's, oh, there it is. Wall, floors, stairs, track, all the way down here. Then we want a wall. And we get a little cursor, and this is another one like farm plots where you push U, H, K, and M to change the size of it. And now that we have some blocks, those will come up as shirt blocks. And for whatever reason, if you're building stuff in this way, I believe basically any dwarf can... I might be wrong about that. I'll wait and see before I say anything, but I know there's some like weird stuff with how building blocks. I think it's actually that tearing down... Oops, I hit enter too many times, so that might be made out of the wrong thing. I don't know. I'll just do it again either way. I'm pretty sure any dwarf can take down construction. I'm just trying to remember if you actually need masonry, if it's blocks. I don't remember. So I'm going to build a little room around my downstairs, and then I'm going to remove one wall, and that'll be where the door will go. So we'll see who makes that. And this is where having a little stockpile up top full of blocks will come in handy. Okay, it looks like, yeah, any dwarf can come over and do that. And unfortunately, shirt is brown, so I'm going to have ugly brown structures, but that is fine. It might make them a little hard to see, but, it's not a big deal. All right. So that was pretty quick, and that would take a lot longer if you were using regular stones and the stockpile was far away. But, like, the whole, like, having a stockpile and making blocks is still optional. It's just, like, a time saver. So this next one... Oh, and there are trees in the way, so I need to chop those down. Just go out to here just to be safe. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make it so that there's a space for the trading caravan to get into the trade depot, and then a barracks, and then the stairs down. And some migrants have arrived, which is great news. It looks like they're coming in from the north, and the game always pauses when migrants arrive. And they will go to the nearest meeting area or other space where dwarves like to hang out. Oh, they're coming from the top left. And you'll see some dwarves come in, and they have little gray X's flashing over them, which is great. It means they're migrants. And also, I think if you open your list, it'll say new arrival for new stuff. And I already see some ones that I want to change, so that's great. But I'll let more of them come in. So it looks like they're bringing some animals as well. Let's look at those animals. What is that, a goat? That's a goat kid. It's a baby goat. Usually if an animal is red like that instead of brown, it means it's a young animal. Stray horseful, yep. And what is this? Baby alpaca. Alpacas are nice. You can shear them and make thread out of their hair. It looks like that is it. So we went from 7 to 12. Which means we got 5 more dwarves, rather. And as is usually the case, it looks like they are basically all useless to me. Although it depends if these fishery workers are actually set to be fishing or not. And it looks like they are. So I'll leave one of those guys. And then the other one I'm actually going to make into a soldier. I'm going to view unit, and I'm going to customize him. I'm going to set his profession as soldier, and this will just make it easier to find him later when I'm actually assigning my soldiers to be soldiers. And he can fish when he's not a soldier, that's fine. Strand extractor, that is a very, very specific job that I'm not going to need for a very, very long time. So I'm actually going to just go over to him and go to general, see if he knows anything else. Nope, he just knows how to extract strands. So, let's see, what do I not have yet? I don't want a hunter. Hunters tend to hunt everything, and also it's slightly dangerous. Let's see, maybe I can have him do some other crafts. I could do stone and bone for him. Yeah, and then I can take that off my miner who does that. So he can focus more on mining and masonry, which is good. It's good to have, for a lot of jobs, it's good to have dwarves that just do that one job if it's a job that takes up a significant amount of time, just because they'll get really good at it, usually. So the more dwarves you have, the better it is to make them good at specific things. Although that gets a little tricky once you start having a lot of dwarves. Alright, so the strand extractor is doing something useful. Wood burning is actually going to be useful soon. However, I also want him to do some other things, which is potash, because that's also something you make at smelters and furnaces. And then I also want him doing smelting, which I believe is in... Oh, what is it? Middlesmithing. Yes. Furnace operation. Right. Alright. So that's fine for now, because I'll be doing that soonish. Then we have a clerk. I don't remember what clerk is specifically good at. Let's take a look here. Oh, he's actually a pretty decent... Okay, so he's a record keeper, but also he has good soldier skills. So I'll go ahead and make him... Or I'll at least go ahead and customize him to be a soldier as well, because he actually, unlike that Fisher Dwarf, has appropriate skills. And a rule of thumb that I have heard for your army is to have it be 1/10 the population of your fortress, and that is a little on the small side in my experience, but it depends on how good your equipment and training is. But that is generally, I would say, a good bare minimum. Make him a soldier. Well, he's not a soldier yet, but he's at least marked as such.